Well, all right, guys. Welcome to Fight Night. In this corner, we have a 285-pound heavyweight wrestler who also happens to be a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. And in this corner, taking him on for the title of Best Man Bun is this itty-bitty purple belt weighing in at 175 pounds. That's right, giving up 100 pounds to him. Yeah, that's me. Wish me luck. I hope this goes okay. Welcome to the video, guys. My name be Jedi. If you like watching people do somewhat dangerous stuff, then this is the perfect place for you to fulfill that need that you have in your life. Starting off in round numero uno, right here we have Mr. George, a fellow purple belt, roughly my size. Now he does have decent wrestling and scrambling, and boy, one hell of a headlock. So that's something I'm gonna have to watch out for. Let's get started. All right. Now, because both of us like to wrestle, we start off with a little bit of hand fighting to set up dominant grips before we go for our shots. This is something that you'll want to do to avoid having your shot countered with a sprawl or even worse, a choke. Here I go for a light single leg, but he steps back and frames on my shoulders. And right here, you see the boring part of training that gets cut out in editing so that the video is a little more engaging. Here I pummel both of my hands inside of his for the plum clinch. I then use that to break down his posture and sit into butterfly guard. I then snap his head down for the front headlock and get up to my feet. As he pulls his head out, I look for a double leg attack, but he's able to counter with a front headlock of his own. And as I try to pull my head out, he goes for a single leg. As he tries to look for a treetop finish, I kick away and turn back into him. And this is what it looks like when nobody wants to take a chance on a risky takedown attempt and get reversed or choked. And here I go for the collar tie and elbow grab, entering the basic ass wrestling position that everybody knows. I then sit into butterfly guard and immediately look for a sweep, but he's able to recover. Here I look to snap him down again, but he's able to use his frames well to keep me at distance, so I shoot in my hips again. Here I grab an overhook looking to sweep him, but he's able to pull his arm out, so I decide to bail on my guard, get back up to my feet, and look to set something else up. Hey bro, come here. No, stop touching me. Stop touching me. The round is almost over, so I say f it and go for a double leg. As he defends and looks for his own double leg, I put him in the front headlock and sit in, looking to sweep him over his head, but he's able to correct himself. So I immediately shoot an underhook and drop the floor out from under him, finally getting the takedown, right as the timer goes off. Welcome to the move of the week, guys. Today we're going to be taking a look at the flying triangle. This is a move that I like to set up from the overhook. If they stretch themselves out with the underhook on a takedown attempt, I like to counter with the Uchimata. Notice here that when he plants with his hand to defend the throw, I instantly grab his head and throw my left leg over his shoulder, falling down into the triangle position. Once you get here, it's only a matter of keeping their posture broken down as you slowly solidify the triangle and get the tap. Now this is more of a flashy Instagram type of move, but if you're actually looking for it, you'd be surprised how many times you see the setup for it if you could just pull the trigger and send it. So have fun with that, guys, but if you feel like you might hurt yourself by going for it, maybe give it a miss. All right, round numero dos. Over here, Exhibit A, we have Mr. Tanner. Now, Mr. Tanner liked the no-gi a lot, so this round's gonna be fun. A lot of open guard, a lot of looking for the back, a lot of scrambles. All right, fun stuff. Let's roll the tape. As soon as we start, I grab his leg and push his shoulder down to flatten him on the mat. As I go knee up the middle and begin to smash pass, he responds with a reverse De La Riva guard. After a little bit of pummeling, he transitions to an underhook and tries to pop up, so I counter by diving over his back and locking up a Kimura grip. From here, he has a hold of my leg, preventing me from finishing it, so I lean forward looking to free my leg. As soon as I free my leg, he hips out and is able to come up on top. As he does, I try to lock up in an armbar, but I don't have good control of his head, so as I go for it, he rolls out of it and ends up in top guard. From here, I look to break down his posture and lock up a triangle choke, but as I throw my top leg over, he pummels his underarm underneath, so I try to lock up a TP choke. As I squeeze my legs together looking for the finish, he's able to stack into me, forcing me to bail on the choke and go into turtle. He immediately throws in his right hook and rolls forward looking to lock up the truck. From here, I walk my way high over his chest, flattening his shoulders on the mat, which prevents him from getting out and throwing over his other hook in for full back mount. After a little bit of work, I'm able to pull my hips out of the pocket, ending up in a modified half guard. From here, I pummel my leg out and hook his top knee to keep his hips flat on the mat. Here he bridges hard to turn into me. As he does, I slide my left arm underneath his armpit and lock up a Darce choke. But he's wise to it and bases out wide to keep me from chopping him to his side and getting a better grip. So I walk my hips into him and look to pull guard on it to get a stronger squeeze, but he's able to keep my bottom leg in between his legs, preventing me from locking up the full guard properly. And yeah, here he's being really hard to finish, so every second that goes by is a second closer to me burning out my grips. So I switch my grips and step my leg over his head, looking to finish with a Peruvian necktie, but he's able to roll forward and get back to his knees, preventing me from choking him. Here I have a peace sign grip, which I'm trying to use to break him down to his side and lock up the Darce, but after another attempt, I decide to bail on it and transition into something else. As I look to step around to his back, he rolls forward, putting me back in front of him. I counter by stacking him and trying to cut straight through his legs for a guard pass, but as I do, he bellies down and grabs a single leg. From here, I sprawl out hella hard, but as he transitions to the other leg, I decide to counter him by looking for the Kimura trap. The only problem is my grip is loose, allowing him to keep his elbow open, which allows him to time my sit through and roll through to get on top. I decide that I want to reset and go for something else, so I frame and get up to my feet. Going back and watching this footage, it's pretty clear that I haven't learned my lesson about not going for flashy moves and just playing it safe, so here I sit down and try to go for a sitting down armbar, but he almost passes my guard, so I have to scramble hard, and I'm able to retain guard by the skin of my teeth. With a left underhook, I have his right arm trapped, so I clamp down on it and look for an inverted armbar, but he's able to roll forward, and as I try to pop up, he pops his head out and comes back on top to recover the position. From here I go, no more Mr. Nice Jedi, so I snap his head down and sprawl out on him, driving my knees into his elbows, trying to open them up for an attack, but then decide to bail on it and circle to his back. To counter this, he rolls forward looking for a Granby roll, but I'm able to flop behind him, stack him, and slide through for the truck stop. I instantly grab the backpack and throw my top hook in, solidifying the back control, finally controlling a position where I can rest from after so much scrambling right as the timer goes off. Hey you, are you tired of never having the drip when you show up to Nogi class? Yeah. Then xmartial.com is for you. On there you can find gear for Nogi that is both high quality and affordable. And they make about a Brazilian jiu-jitsu amount of designs. So if there's something you've ever thought of, they've probably already made it. And since you're watching this video, you get a bonus 10% off at checkout when you use the discount code JEDI. Alright guys, what's up? Welcome to the Blitz round. I'm gonna set the timer for 1 minute and 40 seconds, and we're gonna see if we can finish this round in that time. As I pull his foot to my right, he pulls back, so I step in, go with the motion, passing his guard. As he tries to turn away, I hit a chair set sitting behind him and grabbing the over-under to control. As I fish for his neck, he tries to defend it, giving me enough space to throw in my other 2 hooks. He's doing a decent job of stacking his way on me, so I bail on back control, giving up my hooks. He continues to turn away, going into turtle and getting up to his left foot, but this gives me enough space to slide in my right hook. I then gable grip my hands together, driving my elbow down onto his neck. This stops him from getting up and shaking me off of his back. And since I've thrown my other hook in for back mount, he sticks his butt up in the air and tries to shake me off his front. So I lock up a Kimura grip to chop out his base. He goes to his knees and then tries to roll forward to get out of it, but I follow him through, staying on his back. With the Kimura grip, I throw my left leg over his shoulder, grab my shin, and switch my hips to the other side so I could lock up a triangle off of the back. I then peel his arms apart and hip in for the shoulder lock. Alright guys, this is the moment you have all been waiting for. I will be taking on a purple belt and a wrestler that is over 100 pounds heavier than I am, so please say a prayer for me. As he looks to enter the clinch, I push off on his hips and circle to my right to get away from him. As a much smaller guy, clinching is something I have a huge disadvantage in right now. Here I post on his hip to create some distance. I then grab his leg and slide my hips in to lock up quarter guard. From here, I'm sure to keep my legs locked tight around his calf. This is my best bet of keeping his weight off of me while establishing some sort of attack. With a solid grip on his leg, I drive my hips forward. Grabbing his right foot with both of my hands, I get up to my left knee. I drive into him and put him on his butt. I'm about to sweep him and get on top. And right as the finish line is in sight, he reaches over my back, locks up a Kimura grip, and rolls forward, putting me on my back. He's then able to free his leg and pass my guard. I'm not having a good time at all, so I turn away, trying to create some space and get out. And as I try to turn back into him and retain some sort of guard, he grabs one of the nastiest crossfaces I have ever experienced in my entire life and flattens me out to establish his side control. Here he tries to trap my left arm and attack it. As he brings his other arm to its aid, I belly down hard and am able to push myself into the turtle. With an underhook, he tries to drive my head into the mat. So I turn into him hard and am able to lock up his right leg in my half guard. Although this is better than where I just was, he's still putting a lot of pressure on me, and this is far from an ideal position. Here he tries to isolate my left arm again, so I lock my hands together, trying to keep them safe. As I'm framing inside his bicep again, preventing him from using his crossface again, he brings his left arm over my body, redirecting my frames, and looks to go for a guard pass right as the timer goes off. And for this round, not too surprisingly, I'm trying to keep my distance and only enter the pocket under my terms. Here I grab his head and sit into guard as he looks to pass to my left. I use my right knee to block him and keep him at bay. Here he tries to smash my guard so he can pass, so I use my butterfly hook to elevate his hips, but the thing is, he has about 100 pounds on me, so he's able to smash pass into my half guard. He then tries to attack my arm for an Americana, so I pull myself out. He steps over to the other side and I lock up half guard on his right leg. Here he pummels his right hand inside my bicep to open up my arm. He then grabs my wrist and looks to attack an Americana, so I straighten my arm and bridge to get out of it, but he passes as I do this. But if at first you fail, try again, and that's exactly what he does here. He traps my arm with his underhook and head, and as I try to pull out, he grabs my wrist, locks up the Americana, and gets the tap. As soon as we slap and bump again, I frame on his head and get back up to my feet, because standing up with a way bigger guy that has way better takedowns than you, yeah, that's a great idea. As he looks to enter the clinch, I post on his hip and lower my levels. This is actually a great way of shutting down judo players because it keeps them from getting their hips close to yours, which they have to do to go for their throws.
Nope. Run.
From my butterfly guard, he hits a McFlippity-flop trying to pass, but I'm able to lock him up in my half guard. From here, I have double underhooks, which I'm keeping high because I don't want to be arm locked again. And right as I go to transition into a sweep, the round is over. Alright guys, well, that was a lot of fun. I'll tell you what, I need a 100-pound bigger wrestler like I need something else in my life. Yeah, improv at its finest. So let's get into Q&A. All right, now Antoinette says, nice video. It's been a long time without training now, being a mom of a 3-year-old child. I have never been the mom of a 3-year-old child, but I would imagine that would be something else. But looking for a useful video to start again with my old love, BJJ, and I found your video. Thank God. Greetings from Italy. Yeah, like I said, life can kind of get in the way of what you're trying to do, but if you can find even one day a week to get your jiu-jitsu fix, that's better than nothing. And honestly, consistency over a long period of time is what you need to start seeing results. So don't get down on yourself, stick with it. All right, Antoinette, wasn't a question. Thank you for the comment, really appreciate it, and ciao. And if you have a comment / question, something you gotta get off your mind, stick it down below, and if I think it's interesting enough, I will put it in the next video. Anyways, guys, I really appreciate you for sticking around all the way until the end. You know the drill. Give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. You don't want to miss out on my uploads, bro. You can also follow me on Instagram. I'm just getting back from Phoenix. We shot a chill-ass vlog there. And Instagram, we'll be seeing that before YouTube, so head on over there, Jedi_himself, link down below. I will talk to all of you in the next video. Remember, stay consistent, and you can do whatever you want to do.